They hated white people. I'm half white. Am I supposed to hate that half of myself? Am I supposed to hate my family? That was a light bulb moment for me. My name is Amala Evanoe, and this is my story. I'm 20 years old. I was born in Florida, and I'm a social media influencer and Prager Force member. So my father was a Nigerian immigrant. He moved to America. He met my mother. They fell in love and got married, and they had 3 children, me being the middle child. And he was in my life up until I was 6 years old. And then my parents got divorced. So I have very little memories of him as a child. And as they were divorced, I didn't see him very often, maybe every year or so. And now he bears very little influence in my life, which I know is common for most people in the Black community, unfortunately. So I sort of fall into that statistic, if you will. So my mom is a very strong-willed woman, a very opinionated woman. She happens to work for the left. She is a fundraiser, so she gets all the funding for the organization that she works for. As a child, my mom's beliefs were ingrained in me. She taught me leftist ideology and what she believed from a very young age, and I was always well aware of where she fell on the line and expected to believe the same. Not having my father in my life did have an impact on me, but I found father figures elsewhere. And 2 people who had a major influence on me were my grandparents, and they are this strong, beautiful, conservative couple that has been married for years and years, and they taught me how to be a lady. They taught me how to carry myself and be mature. And I find myself very lucky, actually, that even though my family does not agree with the values that I am putting out to the world, that my family accepts what I do and that they are proud of what I do, even though they disagree. When I was 17 and I graduated high school, I took up a job as a youth organizer at my mother's organization. And as I was working there, I remember in particular walking into the office and hearing these conversations, specifically in regards to white people, and it was blatantly racist. There is no way around it. There was no beating around the bush. They hated white people. And I sat down with the VP of the organization, and I told him I was concerned. I'm half white. I grew up with my white family. Am I supposed to hate that half of myself? Am I supposed to hate my family? He essentially told me, you have to understand that people are angry, and they're rightfully angry, and they're going to say these things, and maybe they don't fully mean it, but you have to sit down and you have to take it, and you should be angry too. So that was a light bulb moment for me. And I went out to seek answers on my own since nobody wanted to answer them. I went online and I found an interview in particular of Thomas Sowell. And something that resonated with me is that he was a Marxist for most of his young life, just as I was, and that shared experience was a beautiful revelation to see. And now he is this beautiful mind who has intellect beyond what I will ever be capable of. So he is a major inspiration for me and a big part of why I'm a conservative today. So when I think about the Black community in America and how we are taught to be victims, it is devastating for me. And what happens is you are raised in a society in which really nobody is treating you differently, but you have the mindset that they are. And not only does it hold you back from creating your own success, but it holds you back from taking accountability. And you no longer are responsible for your actions because you have somebody to blame. And people perpetuate that, and they tell you that's okay, and they say, yes, you are a victim. And then you go out with that mindset. And when success doesn't happen for you, you blame it on other people. And ultimately, I think that is the main problem with that narrative, is that there's no accountability in the Black community anymore. And people get very, very angry when you say things like that because they want their race to be seen. They think it's such a pivotal part of who they are as a person. And it's overtaking character. It's overtaking morals and values. It's overtaking where you even land politically. Your race is seen as this sort of pivotal structure to who you are when that should not be the case. We are bringing back segregation in this country, and people will sell it to you as if we're doing it in a positive manner, but it is segregation nonetheless, and that is never positive. So that's another narrative that the American people are being sold, that we need to uplift Black people, and in doing that, we need to keep them in their separate categories, and we need to give them their success. And it perpetuates the very same racist narrative that they are trying to run away from. Because if Black people can't do anything without your help, and without the help of white liberals or white leftists, what are you saying about the Black community? You're saying that they're not capable of doing things without you. You're taking away their character. You're taking away their success and putting it under your name. We are seeing this positive segregation in the Black-only college dorms. We're seeing it in affirmative action. We're seeing it in our streaming services like Netflix and Hulu, where we have Black-only categories. I went onto YouTube the other day and I got a big poster that said, "Let's uplift Black creators." And here's a list of Black creators on our platform. We are segregating virtually every single facet of our society, and we're doing it in this gradual process and teaching people that it's a positive aspect of our lives when it's not. The left is very, very supportive of anti-American values and anti-American speech, and they see it as taking back a country that has not served them, even though America has done wonders for everybody who lives here. I fear that if things continue on the same track that they're on right now, we are going to lose all sight of what America ever was or what America should be. And there are strong campaigns to strip America of its tradition and of its values. And a lot of it is what we are taught. When we go into school, we are taught that this country of freedom and liberty has all these transgressions that nobody wants to talk about and nobody wants to discuss. And really, we have a systemic issue, that we really are not the free and tolerant country that we preach to people that we are. We are not the beacon on the hill that we try to get other people to perceive us as. And I think it is just a child that is born of misinformation and lies. I think that we can all find common ground in looking at the beautiful things that this country has to offer. We get to experience more freedom than anybody in the world. The fact that I can go out and have freedom of speech and say what I feel and what I think. It's also amazing in this country that we can come here and enjoy all these opportunities, create businesses, create our own world, create our own dream, and to know that you can go out and be whatever you want to be is a beautiful thing that should absolutely be celebrated on both sides. Thank you for watching, and to keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.